to a liberal in 2025, everything is an existential threat. Climate change, meat, male role models, white men, freedom of speech, alternative media, places like Newsmax, MAGA, Make America Great Again, and chief among these threats to democracy is, of course, that man right there, Donald Trump, to the point where it's becoming difficult for people who live in this country, the true Trump hater. Imagine what life is like for them today. Everything you thought to be true was washed away in November. You were wrong. He's president again. Think about how challenging that must be for many. And now Democrats will say and do anything to try and beat him.
There needs to be unrest in the streets for as long as there's unrest in our lives.
Enemies of the state.
Show me where it says that protests are supposed to be polite and peaceful.
Do something about your dad's immigration practices, you feckless.
How do you resist the temptation to run up and wring her neck?
The biggest terror threat in this country is white men, most of them radicalized up to the right.
I thought he should have punched him in the face. I said, even if you lost, he insulted your wife.
Yes.
He came down the escalator and called Mexicans rapists and murderers. He said, well, what do you think I should have done? I said, I think you should have punched him in the face and then gotten out of the race. You would have been a hero.
All of that has an impact. When you look at the chaos happening across the country right now, it's all on the left. It started with BLM and then free Palestine to illegal alien riots in Los Angeles, people waving the Mexican flag. The left has already declared war on America and Donald Trump, but not a traditional war. It's a hybrid war being run by the worst people in our society, many of them not even citizens. We say that because it's the truth. And for millions of Americans, Donald Trump is leading a movement to destroy the establishment, dismantle the deep state. And because of that, a lie was created. And now 10 years later, we are finally hearing the other side of that story.
Multiple intelligence community assessments released in the months leading up to the November 2016 election concluded that Russia had neither the intent nor capability to impact the outcome of the U.S. election. On December 5th...
We've been listening there to the Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, continuing on what has now been a multi-day effort, not only with public statements like this, but release of documents.
We show you this again for a reason. We brought you that soundbite last night. But there is so much going on in that moment right there that we wanted to show it to you one more time. CNN was once a respected news organization. Now they're just an organization that's not organized. If you were sitting at a bar at the airport in the 90s and CNN was on, guess what? You'd order a drink and a sandwich, you'd wait for your flight, and you'd watch CNN. But today, the same network that had no problem reporting the Russia hoax lie for 4 years cut away from the Director of National Intelligence because what she was about to say contradicts their version of the story. Meaning even today, this dying, pathetic organization would rather report the lie than the truth. This is CNN. No, that is why America hates CNN.
We have no idea. I mean, this is hardly information that we should even be repeating. Never mind that it's, some years after the fact, 8 years more than that after the fact, but also just to look at the source. But look, this is the what this White House wants to talk about, and I'm not sure that we should spend that much more time on it, frankly.
Frankly, this is all a very sensitive subject, as you can imagine, for the legacy media, especially at CNN, because they owned the story like the Washington Post owned Watergate in the 70s. CNN owned Russiagate. No one pushed the fake story more than CNN. No one pushed the fake story that Russia wanted Donald Trump to win the 2016 election more than CNN. But it might have been the other way around from the start. Tulsi Gabbard detailing Russian intelligence on Hillary Clinton that they deliberately did not release before the election because they did not want to damage the relationship with a woman that they, Russia, thought was going to win.
The report goes into great detail about the information that Russia and Putin had on Hillary Clinton, which included possible criminal acts like secret meetings with multiple named U.S. religious organizations in which State Department officials offered, in exchange for supporting Secretary Clinton's campaign for the presidency, significant increases in financing from the State Department.
So now it all makes sense. Once again, Democrats are guilty of what they accuse everyone else of doing. So what happens next? What happens now with this story? Well, CNN needs to pivot. They've already started. They know they need to follow this story because this story is coming from the White House, but they still have to lie about it. So now they are trying to discredit Tulsi Gabbard, a former Democrat.
Who is saying that she would release this to try to boost her standing with the president? Who has said that?
Well, the president has publicly undermined her when it came to Iran. He said she was wrong. He told me that she didn't know what she was talking about. That was on Air Force One on camera.
The only people who are suggesting that the director of national intelligence would release evidence to try to boost her standing with the president are the people in this room who constantly try to sow distrust and chaos amongst the president's cabinet, and it is not working. I will just answer your question directly. I am with the President of the United States every day. He has the utmost confidence in Director Gabbard.
That is CNN right there, and that didn't work. No one's buying it, not even their viewers, not even the left. But there's more to the story. Russia apparently knew Hillary Clinton was absolutely nuts. They also knew her handlers were apparently shooting her up with tranquilizers. We're not kidding.
There were high-level DNC emails that detailed evidence of Hillary's, quote, psycho-emotional problems, uncontrolled fits of anger, aggression, and cheerfulness, and that then Secretary Clinton was allegedly on a daily regimen of heavy tranquilizers.
Tranquilizers, not like Zoloft or Paxil. It's tough to function on tranquilizers. What are you, a pony? But you know what? It makes sense now. Do you remember this right here when Hillary Clinton was literally about to fall down when one of her security detail grabbed her by the arm and shoved her into a van?
She felt overheated and she went to her daughter's apartment to get her bearings. Let's watch this video for a second. There you see her apparently almost falling, but captured, caught by people, presumably Secret Service agents around her.
By the way, you can't make this stuff up. I feel like I say this all the time now. That's Jake Tapper narrating that right there. Jake Tapper, fake Jake Tapper right there. The media obviously came to Hillary's defense. That's what they do. That's what CNN is trained to do. She was tired, dehydrated. She almost fell to the ground. Can you imagine if that happened to Donald Trump? Seriously, if that happened to Donald Trump, front page, above the fold, CNN leading every single hour, all day, all week. CNN will do exactly what they are told to do by the DNC and others. Remember when they told us that Joe Biden, again, Jake Tapper, Joe Biden was sharper than ever.
Start your tape right now, because I'm about to tell you the truth. And F you if you can't handle the truth.
He's sharp, he's focused, he's bright.
I don't have any concerns, and that's from personal interactions.
This version of Biden is the best Biden ever. Not a close second.
That is going to be on his headstone one day. It's just unbelievable. Don't believe your lying eyes. That's not Joe Biden sleeping. That's not Joe Biden getting lost on stage. Are you seeing the trend here with CNN and MSNBC and the legacy media? The left loves to talk about the free press and democracy, but there is no more free press in this country, at least not with the legacy media. Americans now have two options every single morning when they wake up: American state-run media like CNN or alternative media or digital media, while the legacy media continues to run cover for these pathetic Democrats because they are controlled opposition. Nothing happens by chance in Washington. It's always been that way. Every piece has a purpose, and when it's no longer useful, they end it like they did with Joe Biden, and CNN could be and should be next.
Information. Truth. Is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.